Series Wargames 2024 is officially in the books, and the show saw some of the most infamous botches of the calendar year. Join us now as we look at moments that weren't supposed to happen at Survivor Series Wargames 2024. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on WrestleMania XL. Number 1. The worst chair shot ever. A Survivor Series Wargames 2024 kicked off with the women's Wargames matchup, and one of the main criticisms directed towards the match was how unbelievably bad some of the weapon shots looked. Specifically, when Nia Jax was using the steel chair, she made it look like Hulk Hogan in WCW was swinging the chair, as the chair shots looked insanely weak. There was one point where it looked like Jax was about to hit Naomi over the head with the sinister steel, yet Jax remembered WWE's no chair shot to the head policy, so she decided against it. It was incredibly awkward to witness, and whilst it's appreciated that Jax didn't want to hurt her opponent, this was Wargames, and Wargames is supposed to be one of the most brutal and traumatizing matches of the year, so an element of intensity and danger is expected.
Artlist presents LUTs, giving your videos a professional aesthetic, easily. Color grade your projects
By fans as well as the wrestlers themselves. In an unexpected twist of fate, at one stage Jax was criticized for taking liberties with her opponents, and now she's getting backlash for not putting any intensity or force into her weapon shots. Number 2. High risk, no reward. The nature of Wargames means that a lot of the major spots are gonna go wrong, and this was the case with the significant spot involving the top of the cage. Io Sky would drop down to the top of the steel cage in an attempt to sunset flip powerbomb Candice LeRae. Unfortunately, Sky couldn't get enough grip, so the spot was abandoned, and then both women improvised. The improvisation worked extremely well, and both women deserve a ton of credit for not letting the botch let them go off track. Now, it's also worth noting that Sky is receiving rave reviews for her performance in the match, and some are even calling her the MVP of the entire premium live event. Number 3. Where's the weapon? Now, as Raquel Rodriguez made her way into Wargames, she rather hilariously failed to find a weapon. When it was apparent that Rodriguez couldn't find a weapon under the ring, she tried to play it off, yet it was obvious that she was confused and unsure how to proceed. The former NXT Women's Champion would even inform the referee that she was unable to locate the weapon, and in a terrible blunder, Raquel Rodriguez didn't exactly whisper a comment to the referee, as it was insanely loud. Some fans have speculated that due to her being unable to locate the weapon, numerous spots in the match were actually cancelled, and this was potentially why a strong portion of the match looked awkward and improvised. Number 4. What was that? Now, the turnbuckle camera can be hit and miss in WWE, and for the opening match at Wargames, it malfunctioned on more than one occasion. During a key spot on the turnbuckle between Candice LeRae and Bianca Belair, the turnbuckle camera was supposed to capture the spot. However, it somehow completely missed it. This led to Michael Cole describing the spot, but it had little effect as the fans didn't get to witness it. There were lots of elements in the match that seemed to go wrong. There was a lack of communication between the wrestlers in the match, and it was almost as if nobody knew their planned spots. Yes, Wargames matches are messy, yet there's no excuse for the match to be all over the place, and this was unfortunately the case with the women's Wargames match this year. Number 5. LA Knight drops his title. As LA Knight made his way down to the ring, he made a rare blunder as he dropped his US title. As Corey Graves was quick to comment on the botch, it was nice to see the commentary team actually outright acknowledging a botch of this nature. Number 6. Michael Cole's apology. During Wargames, Michael Cole incorrectly stated that Io Sky walked out of WrestleMania 40 as Women's Champion. Obviously, this is incorrect, and it was Bayley who defeated Sky at WrestleMania. Cole would actually issue an apology during the LA Knight vs Shinsuke Nakamura match, which he didn't need to do, but it was appreciated that they wanted to correct his work. Hearing Cole correct himself like this would never occur in the old era of WWE, and it just shows how comfortable he is without Vince McMahon screaming down his ear for the duration of the live show. Number 7. Let's Go Breaker. During the Triple Threat Showdown for the Intercontinental title, the fans firmly got behind babyface Sheamus, and Michael Cole decided to state that the crowd were chanting for Bron Breakker, despite the fans actively chanting Let's Go Sheamus.
And Breakker chants breaking out here.
It's likely that Cole either misspoke or genuinely believed that the fans were chanting for Breakker as opposed to Sheamus. Thankfully for Cole, this was the only botch in a match that has received universal praise. Breakker, Sheamus, and Ludwig Kaiser all receiving vast applause on social media for their work in the match, and fans are quite labeling it as a match of the night. Number 8. Michael Cole can't stop laughing. During the opening of the main event, Tama Tonga began to crawl along the wall of the steel cage. This was an odd visual to say the very least, but the antics were definitely something that outlandish character of Tonga would actually deliver. Hilariously, Michael Cole stated that Tonga wouldn't be able to do that if it was a Punjabi prison match. For whatever reason, Cole found this incredibly funny, and even Corey Graves joined in on the hilarity. Whilst this did act as a tonal shift, it was just a passing moment of comedy and it didn't take anything away from the match. Number 9, WWE misses the curse word. Whilst WWE have loosened their stance on curse words over the past year, certain words are certainly censored out. However, during the Bloodline vs. Bloodline Wargames match, WWE failed to censor Jey Uso screaming a curse word at the top of his lungs. Main event, Jey would scream the curse word during a physical confrontation with Bronson Reed, and whilst WWE management may take issue with the word, it did add to the moment. It's likely that the curse word will be blanked out on subsequent replays of the show on Peacock. Number 10, Tonga Loa sucks. It's rare for the sound on the WWE show to pick up one specific fan shouting out. However, during the main event Wargames matchup, a fan shouted out, and then the second fan shouted. It's unclear why these two specific comments were picked up on the mic, and it was potentially an issue within the sound production of the show. Unfortunately, whilst Loa's work in the match was passable, he started to get a reputation ever since his WWE debut for botching in virtually every appearance he makes, and it appears that the crowd are slowly catching on to Loa's misfortunes inside the squared circle. Number 11, Jacob Fatu slips. Since debuting in WWE, Jacob Fatu is impressed, and he's a surefire contender to be a future world champion in the company. Fatu was on a roll in Wargames, but that was until he attempted a springboard move and slipped. Fatu instantly grabbed his leg, and it was evident that he was in immense pain. Fatu moved to the corner and off camera. Bronson Reed was even checking on him, which implies that the botch was legitimate and Fatu was legitimately hurt. Fatu would push through the pain for the rest of the match, but he was hobbling and using one leg, which is obviously a big concern. Some fans have theorized that the injury spot was scripted to take him out of the closing moments of the match, which is a possibility, yet it would be an unusual way to take him out of action if it was WWE's grand idea. An injury to Fatu would truly be devastating news, so hopefully it's nothing too serious, and Fatu is able to continue on his acclaimed run. More news is likely to be confirmed by a reputable outlet in the fallout from the show. Fatu vs Roman Reigns is a certified dream match, and it's definitely a match that seems on the cards for 2025. With the original Bloodline being victorious inside Wargames, it does create on the idea that WWE will be moving forward with the new storyline. However, Michael Cole on commentary was quick to point out that Solo Sikoa is still in possession of the Ulafala. It's possible that WWE will look to build towards a Reigns vs Sikoa match to determine the true tribal chief, and that would bring the modern day Bloodline story to a close. It was reported this week that the original Bloodline will be sticking around as a collective unit as WWE moves to Netflix, but it's unclear how exactly this is going to work if the Bloodline vs Bloodline story arc is over. There's a strong chance that each member of the original group stays loosely connected, yet explores their own individual stories. This would be a great opportunity to reunite the group whenever WWE needs a quick ratings grab. And number 12, bad news for Jimmy Uso. Sadly, another injury occurred during the men's Wargames match, as brother Jey Uso confirmed on the post-show press conference that Jimmy Uso broke his toe during the match. This was presumably when Jimmy went out for the high-risk splash on Jacob Fatu through the table. You can see from the match that his foot hit the ground first before his body. Hopefully he'll recover in time for a Rumble appearance, as 2025 will be a huge year for the Bloodline. But there you have it, folks. 12 moments that weren't supposed to happen at Survivor Series Wargames 2024. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Alright. Thank y'all for watching.